The Bunzerelly Show.
Of course, joining me, I got my co-host Khiim in the house. Khiim, what's going on, man?
Not much. How you doing?
Good. Khiim, we got to the main event here, so everything's led down to this. And I know you had a reaction to it just because you called me immediately after you saw it. You were like, "Hey, what are we doing about this show?" And then things kind of got moved aside and put off. But what did you think about the episode?
What did I think about the episode? I thought it was good. I know I had like a certain attitude when we first started out with the series, but at this point, like I kind of just accept it for what it is. You know, it's not a thinker. It's just, you know.
No, I do think, because I was saying, like, when we were watching the beginning, like, I don't see how Falcon's going from here to here, but now I kind of get how he did. Especially like when he first jumps out, like his first, you know, he comes in, he's on the mission, and you couldn't even tell he was in the costume when it first starts out. But when he just pops in there and he's just like, he made up his mind. His decision's made. So there's not even like any hesitation. He's like, I'm Captain America. He's doing he's doing like combo moves with the wings and the shield. But you know, he made his peace with it. He's like, you know, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm this is what's going on. Good to see that. I like the costume. Wasn't vibranium like we thought it might be, but those wings, I'm pretty sure they didn't actually say it, but I think those are vibranium. So what that's doing is,
I would assume so.
And that's especially from the helicopter scene, but that's going to put him on that level, I think, as far as the rest of the MCU, because you see him like, well, really the helicopter scene was a thing, because I watched that scene again. You kind of see like the little dent where he kind of like goes down when the helicopter deflects off of it. But it was like, this is, you know, I could see his powers and everything. It's still anything else. You take a shot you take a punch in the face, but the same goes for Hawkeye or Black Widow or anybody like that. Yeah. But he's definitely
she's honestly better off than them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's basically in a big walking shield. He's almost better than Black Panther had it as far as the protection. But yeah, he was just you know, he's taking command in situation and everything. We got this part kind of fell a little flat for me, but I'll get your opinion on it. The John Walker stuff. So John Walker came back, and there were things I liked and there were things I didn't like. I like that, like, you know, he's after Carly again. He's fighting, going toe for toe. I was a little like disappointed how quickly he made peace with Bucky and Falcon. For those two just breaking it off.
I didn't see that coming like that either. Yeah,
they were just like buddy chummy, like nothing happened. And it didn't have to be like that. I would have liked to see a little friction still. Like, hey guys, we're cool.
I would like to see the gripe.
Yeah, just like a little, like, hey, some stuff went down. We're making our peace. Like, I did like the fact that, like, in his rage, there was a part where he's like, okay, I got to focus on what's important here and rescue these people. That I liked. And it's not a big complaint. It's just like, you know, as far as his storyline went with them. I mean, I did like at the end when Falcon gives him that little look and nods his head. He nods his head back like, hey, I see where we are. You know, I just would have liked him a little less chummy with.
So let me ask you something. Do you think that he's like kind of naive to what's possibly going on with him and I forget her name.
Yeah, Contessa.
In the comics, she's Madam Hydra.
Yeah,
Contessa.
Now I still don't know who Contessa is in like the MCU. Like I don't get.
Yeah.
I still don't know who he's working for because she is sitting in government buildings. The only thing I do know about her, which will give us a little more like explanation of her, is she's in Black Widow because Black Widow was supposed to be out like last summer. So we would have already gotten to know her by now. Okay. So maybe when that happens, we'll know more of where she's from and who she represents. But and it wasn't, it was meant to be probably like the little piece of information. Just like, this is who she's affiliated with. But yeah, she was supposed to. That's why when we first see her and she shows up at, when she first shows up, it's like the big reveal of who she is. You're like, oh, it's the girl from Seinfeld. But no, it's supposed to be a reveal because you were meant to see her in Black Widow by now. And they're like, oh, she's here. But we kind of missed that, but it'll kind of be cool in Black Widow.
So the timeline's a little messed up.
Yeah, because things got put off and rearranged and everything. So, but we got enough, but we'll get a little more information after that. Because I want to know exactly who is U.S. agent working for.
Yeah, exactly.
So Sharon turned out to be the power broker. So my question, and I kind of made myself my own answer to well, why did she let them destroy the super serum? So the only thing I could think of is from her point of view, because Falcon and Winter Soldier were kind of fishing around Madripoor looking for things. I think it was better. Maybe she thought it was better to take the hit and lose the super serum, because if they started fishing around too much, they might have blown her whole operation. So maybe it was more like
kind of covering her own tracks.
Yeah, it's like, look, I wanted to keep the serum because she still let them in there with that scientist. Granted, maybe they thought she had more of a grip on Zemo and didn't expect there to be a gun in there. But she must have just said, let me take this risk. Because maybe a lot of people don't know who the power broker is, besides Carly. Because maybe she just did that. But that's the only explanation I could think of, is that she just wanted to cover her tracks and be like, look, I don't want these guys looking around too much. Let me take them to exactly what they're looking for and get them out of here. I don't see how that would explain
that
her.
Makes sense.
I don't know why she would go help Falcon after that, but maybe she's just playing the part still and just trying to, but now she's back in S.H.I.E.L.D., so now she's, once again, S.H.I.E.L.D. is kind of
she could have been playing that upper hand,
Yeah,
she could have just been playing that upper hand at that point to get back in.
Yeah, because she didn't seem like she's too interested in it, but once at the end, she had that phone call, we're back in, let's go. So that might have been, she was playing it cool. It's a short-time Cole. Still an interesting character turn for her, just because that's some character. I didn't even realize she was in the first Winter Soldier. I just remembered her from Civil War, but she's in Winter Soldier, Civil War, so it's just kind of cool seeing her storyline kind of change up and stuff. Back to the situation with Falcon. So the cool thing is with all his heroics and everything, what's really happening is the whole world is, because of the nature of the situation, the whole world is watching him do this rescue. So he's proving himself to the world. He's saving a bunch of senators. So I don't even, because even the newscasters were asking questions like, are they going to make you the Captain America and everything? I don't know if Captain America is really a title for the government to give. Is it up to them? Who named Captain America?
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? So even if people are saying that, or whether the government approves of him or not, which they might not, but the world is approving of him. And the other thing is,
they accepted him.
Yeah, they accepted him. He was the big hero, and he used that moment, because this is where the story came full circle, because when he had those little heart-to-hearts with Carly, he was saying, I get your fight. I just don't like the way you're fighting it. And, he comes out, it's like a beautiful shot of him covering down with Carly. And then he starts going at it with the senators. He just straight up challenges them and says, look how this happened. No, these aren't just, this is a result of something. The decisions you make are impacting
They're mad
people.
For a reason.
Yeah, the decisions you're making are impacting people, and this is how they're reacting. So you need, and it's kind of like a story that you could carry to anything. But it's it's really good. It's why haven't you asked them why? Nobody's asking why. But everything you do is impacting people. And it was cool because he could have taken that.
Yeah.
He was like the opposite of John Walker. When John Walker became Captain America, he was like, hey, he's on talk shows and everything. He's like, oh, yeah, Steve Rogers is always a big hero of mine, this and that, and, the American dream. But Falcon wasn't playing into any of that corniness, because that's not what being Captain America is about to him. It wasn't even about that to Steve. Steve had a little corny, heroic thing to him, but that was kind of his
it started
personality.
off like that. He was a poster boy, but he got over it.
Yeah, and then he started playing dirty in Winter Soldier and Civil War, and he's like, no, I'm just going to do what needs to be to get done. So Falcon was right there with him. So Falcon went past that. Like, he already knows, like, this is about doing the right thing or saying the right thing. I don't care how good it looks or how pretty it is. Like, and I also liked how when he was making that speech, like, you just saw Bucky was real proud. It was like, all right, bud, you did it. It was just nice to see, like, that, okay, he's doing it.
Yeah.
It's, but so one of the interesting things about this is, I don't know if it's been officially announced, but they're already talking about Captain America 4 being the Sam Wilson Captain America. So I don't know if they're probably not going to call it 4. They'll just call it Captain America something else. I don't know how far Bucky's going to play a part into it, but I am just looking forward to that just because take that, like I said, he handed him the shield instead of just showing him the next movie, him just being, we had that little road and we got to see the struggle to get there. So I want to see now what happens when he starts folding in the MCU and starts meeting up with these other Avengers and stuff, if they're going that road.
Yeah.
But I like to see him in that, even just the writing style of a movie, like a mission from beginning to end with him. And hopefully, I would love to see Bucky with him in that.
What do you think about that? The raft scheme that we saw with Zemo.
Yeah, I forgot when they mentioned the raft last episode. I was like, oh, it must be a Wakanda prison. I totally forgot. The raft is from Civil War. That's where everybody was locked up with where Iron Man had everybody locked up. When he went and talked to Falcon in the prison, that's like an MCU thing. I forgot about that, but yeah, the raft and Zemo gets the last laugh at the end, and Zemo's still pulling the strings and everything. So Zemo got what he wanted.
I think Bucky goes on from here.
I just want to see him somewhere. I would just assume, but how long can you go being Captain America's sidekick? That's the one question. But then the other question is, how long is there a plan for a new Avengers? Thor's out doing his thing. We haven't seen what the other guys are doing. So what brings them all together? What is there when is there a need for the Avengers again? If that's the road they're going on. Yeah. So, but if Bucky's not gonna go with Sam on this Captain America journey, I'd like to see Bucky do some things, either appear in other shows, other movies, or just kind of be a character weaving throughout that world.
I'd like to see him go back to Wakanda.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, putting him in the next Black Panther would be good, because he does still have a lot of history and knowledge of Black Panther, and it would just also kind of spice it up a little bit, kind of like Hulk did. Not that it needs it, but yeah, change it up and everything. Isaiah. He's making that speech on TV, and Isaiah's watching it. And that alone was powerful enough. I thought that was going to be it, because Isaiah's like, oh, I see where you're going with this. I see, wait, you did kind of just, you grabbed the shield, but you're still being, you're not playing along. You're doing like.
Yeah, you made it yours instead of him making you.
Yeah, and so Isaiah's happy just enough with that, and it's like, okay, I thought that was it. And then he goes to Isaiah just for like a little final, like, see, man, I told you I was going to do it. He goes, I'm not going to stop fighting for this country, no matter how hard it is. And at the end, he makes that little statue thing for in the Captain America, because Isaiah is a part of Captain America history. Whether it's like, it's hidden in the books, but it should be, his story should be known. He saved a bunch of lives. Yeah. So I was glad, like we said, we saw Isaiah that first time, and he was such an interesting thing. So just to kind of bury his story, I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad he played a bigger role in the show than we thought he was. But that part, I was real happy that he had that little happy ending. What do you like to round it up? Like, how do you feel about Falcon being Captain America?
It's still settling. Like, I don't hate it. Yeah, I don't love it, but it's still settling.
Yeah,
I just want to see more.
Yeah, you really can't gauge it till you see how he interacts. Like, I get him being Captain America. I haven't seen him be like the leader of the Avengers, if that's even in the cards. or part of the plan. But only time will tell. You know, even if he's like the leader in a more symbolic thing. But even if you had to go back to the Avengers and say who the leaders are, even if it was if you could say it was Captain America, but you could also say it was Iron Man. So both those guys are gone. So it's really kind of up in the air how that group reforms if they do. But it's definitely interesting to see. But I'm like I said, all this stuff's cool. All these big changes. I mean, you know, we got a new Captain America. We got a new leveled up Wanda out there. So all these pieces are kind of forming. And when they start gathering together, it's going to be interesting to see. So once again, I want to say thank Khiim for being here. Always a pleasure having you, buddy. And we will see you guys in a couple weeks.